My name's Zach. I've been studying with Miss Marion for 14 years. Studying with Miss Marion has kind of like built a foundation for my creativity. I'd say that like if I hadn't been involved in the group, I maybe wouldn't be as invested in the arts, specifically filmmaking in my case. That's what I want to pursue. So yeah, I just say it's been a huge part of me growing as someone who appreciates the arts. By studying with Miss Marion, she kind of like teaches you to be very adamant about practicing, very adamant about like keeping up with going to the practices, there's always multiple outreaches to go to. When times were tough, I still kept with it. Miss Marion kind of instilled that in me. So I've just always stuck with it, like even through hard times. She pays very close attention to like maybe specific aspects of your playing particularly. So maybe you're stronger at vibrato, but maybe your bow stroke could be improved. So she might touch on that specifically. Usually she smiles, she tells you that she was very proud, that you did a great job. Or if you didn't do such a great job, she's not afraid to be honest. And but in the end, that's for the better because it allows you to grow as a player. Being with Miss Marion's group, I've had to perform various solos, been in various concerts with some of my peers, but I'd say that one memory, or one that stands out in my mind, was a recital at like a theater in Anderson. But I remember thinking that I bombed that performance. I remember going up there being super anxious, being super nervous, and I remember afterwards just being like, overwhelmed with like support from Miss Marion. I remember afterwards, while I was kind of down after the performance, Miss Marion, she gave me a hug. She said, you can try better next time or whatever, and she just kind of supported me. I've always been like obsessed with movies, like ever since I was young. Like I remember seeing Jurassic Park for the first time, and I was just like, I was completely thrilled after watching that. As I grew up, like I would watch movies just casually, but then, as I pursued music, pursued violin, like it kind of inspired me to think critically, because when you're playing, obviously, you need to be able to think critically to, play a specific bow stroke, in the correct manner or the correct manner for that specific piece. And so just like simple things like that just kind of inspired me to think critically. So as I grew as a player, I started to look at filmmaking in a more critical light, taking note of direction, cinematography, the way that the writing in general. So I would just say that it's really helped me to think critically in film. By being in Miss Marion's studio, I've been able to grow up with like kids for roughly 10 years. In the beginning, I wasn't necessarily like the most open person, but I started cracking jokes, and then I got to talking with Pablo, and we became really close friends, and I don't know. Then I just started to be more open. I'd say like even socially, it kind of it made me more outgoing. That's probably been the biggest part in making me happy, is just being able to share music with my peers, with Pablo, B, Bryson, Chris, and it's just been great. After graduation, I plan to pursue filmmaking. I applied early decision for Loyola Marymount University, which is where I'm primarily looking at going. They just have a great film program, great campus. My cousin is actually currently at Loyola Marymount, and he's just been telling me like all the great things that he's been able to experience there. I hope to be able to do some things like that as well. I mean, I would even entertain creating a documentary about the experiences that I've had, or just Miss Marion's group in general, because it's just been great. It's very, it really encourages discipline and responsibility.